What's going on, beautiful people, and welcome back to Peace, Love, Happiness. And today we have another phenomenal video for you guys. Why do men cheat? I have put together three things, three reasons that are completely connected to each other to say those might be some of the main reasons why men cheat. Before we start this video, I definitely want to say there should not be any reason for somebody to cheat in a relationship. If you happen to find yourself in that situation, it will definitely be best for you to leave that relationship instead of hurting somebody else. But sometimes there are so much more reasons that the eyes can't see. So today we're going to talk about the three main reasons that I think men cheat. The first one is the lack of maturity. The first one is the lack of maturity. The lack of maturity goes a long way. Why? Because the first thing when it comes to lack of maturity, we talk about not being saturated. Saturated could be not mentally saturated. When a man is not mentally saturated, he's all over the place. He doesn't understand commitment. He doesn't understand what it means to be in a relationship because the level of attachment is not there. In his mind, he likes the glory of saying that he's in a relationship, but does not do anything when it comes to a relationship. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So, mentally saturated is definitely important. The second one is what we call low self-esteem. Low self-esteem always goes with insecurities. Insecurities means the person is always comparing himself to something. You know what I mean? He's always putting himself into that position where I am the victim. Therefore, I'm always going to have my guard up high because I don't know what's going to happen. For instance, you'll find a guy who is with a beautiful woman. He fell in love with the mindset of being physically attracted to a woman, but he doesn't understand that the woman has much more to offer. For instance, you could find a woman, very beautiful woman, who's also highly educated. That's a problem for him. Why? Because in his mind, that woman could literally run with anybody. In his mind, he's always fighting with it. He's always thinking maybe she's with me because of a cover. Why would she be with me? Who am I? Why is this woman with me? She's such a beautiful woman. Why would anybody like this be okay to be with me unless they are doing something else on me? Therefore, I'm gonna do things just to cover up. Since she's out there cheating behind my back, I'm just gonna cheat. He's always gonna be the one criticizing you about anything you do. With him, there's always something wrong with you because in his mind, he has to put you down to the point where he could stay up high because that's where it feels like is in control. But low self-esteem is one of the biggest problems because inside of him, he doesn't even know who he is as a person. The third one is that he was abused as a child because for most men, they don't understand that they need to go to therapy. They always assume that, okay, I am the strong guy. I have to have a strong cover. I have to do things without showing my emotions. But they're not understanding that there are so many things that's building up on the inside. And when that happens, it gives you more problems in your relationship. When I mean being abused as a child, it could be emotionally, it could be physically, it could be sexually. When you find yourself in a situation like that, dealing with a man who's been abused mentally, physically, and sexually, that person will never open up. That person will be always scared of commitment. That person will always live his life with the trauma playing in the back of his head. Therefore, he'll never be able to fully trust not only himself, but the person around him because he'll still have that view, despite the fact that he's not reacting on it every day, but he's always going to be living life with the mindset that something critical is going to happen, so he always have to have his guard up. When it comes to men like that, which is probably what, I'll say 75% of men, this is a big deal. Because when you find somebody is tall, is attracted, is physically fit, and you don't know what's going on in the person's head. And the worst thing is that the person doesn't even know himself where he could actually engage a fully committed relationship with you. Because he is still struggling from things that have happened in the past. It could be a relationship that he gave his all to, but ended up not fitting to the places that he expected, and boom, Next thing you know, you come in his life, you think that he doesn't have any problem, but his entire mindset is all messed up. So like that, he'll never be stable. And like that, there's always going to be problems for you because he's looking for the next reason to feel good about himself. And sometimes I do understand that it's definitely not your fault, but you do have a job to do. Before you get involved with a guy, you have to understand that you have homeworks. You don't want to just get there because he looks good or because he makes money. Because there are way more to come when it comes to a relationship. Money can pay bills, but when it comes to mental abuse, because that person is going to end up abusing you without knowing that he's doing something wrong to you. Because in his mind, he's still doing what's been going on in his life. It's still recycling what's been going on in his mind over and over again. Until you actually seek help, admit to be vulnerable to a point where you could dive in from what happened in his past, this is going to be impossible. Until you understand the value of commitment and trying to push away that lack of maturity, you're in trouble. Until you realize that, yo, I'm perfect for you. If you really want something with that person, you're going to have to keep going a little bit deeper than just having a good time. Because the first 2-3 months, you will never know who the person is. But by the time that you really start getting to know the person, you're going to start realizing there's a lot of things that are not coming together. And sometimes they don't do it just because they want to do it. Sometimes they'll be in the same room with you crying, asking themselves, why am I hurting the woman I love? Do you think that's normal? No, it's not. It's just the fact that they don't know themselves as a lot of people expect them to know themselves. So now that we've talked about that, and the next person that you're going to meet, you're going to have homework to do. Despite the fact that you are completely attracted to the person, know if you want to last longer with the person, those are things that you need to think about. For those of you who've been with us from the get-go, we appreciate the love and all of your support. And for those that are just finding out about the channel, feel free to look around. While you're at it, leave us a subscribe and hit the notification bell because we have way more to come. Peace.